it going, everybody? Well, let me introduce you to our next guest. This is Brad Fairbanks. Brad is actually on our local team here in Pensacola, and I have literally been able to watch Brad shrink week to week at our meetings over the past year. How are you doing today, Brad?
I am doing great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good to see you. I'm working on this new computer here, so I'm going to have to sort of figure this out today. Um, Let's start out with this, Brad. Tell us how you were introduced to Plexus.
Well, what had happened was a friend of mine at work, I had noticed he had been losing weight, and so I had asked him about it, and he told me about Plexus, gave me a trial, and I tried that. At the time, made one of the excuses that we all talk about now about it being too expensive. So I just kind of let it go at that point. But then later I met some other friends who I knew, Roy and Donna Thomas, and talked to them a little bit about it. And one thing led to another, and that's when I really started to look at it a little more seriously. But by then, I had kind of decided I was at a point that I needed to lose weight, and I didn't care what it took.
All right. Now, you and your wife both started the products, right?
Yes. Now, I started first. My wife did not start immediately. I think she started about a month or two after I did. But I started first, and then when she saw it was working, she's like, "Oh, hey, maybe this can work," and so she started as well.
Which products did you guys start with in the beginning?
To start with, all we did was the Slim and the Accelerator Plus.
Okay, awesome. Now, big drum roll here. What is your weight loss so far?
Well, as of today, I am at just under 105 pounds.
105 pounds. Whoop, whoop. Raise the
Yeah.
roof, everybody. Well, tell me this, Brad. With that, obviously, there's been more than just the pink dream going on. You've had to have done, some massive exercising or preparing for a 5K or something, right?
Yeah, no, not quite. One of the reasons I actually started with the Plexus, and one of the things that appealed to me, was the fact that, everybody assured me you don't have to change the way you eat, you don't have to exercise, you don't have to do all the things that everybody normally does, and that was very true. However, I did hit some plateaus along the way, and that's where I started adding some additional products, and that worked for me. But one of the biggest things, though, that wound up kind of hindering the weight loss was I had some ankle problems and wound up having surgery, and I was basically immobile for about 6 months. So, and even leading up to that, I was dealing with a lot of pain and issues that, I was even more sedentary than I had been before I started Plexus. So yeah, there was no extra exercising or anything.
So you've lost most of this weight, we're saying, with the pink drink and Accelerator Plus.
That's where it all started. And then, as I said, as I would hit different plateaus, the first thing I added after that was uh, the bio cleanse, and then after I hit another plateau, I started the pro bio, and then I started the X Factor. And each time, it each new product jump started my system again, and I started losing weight. So I just basically kept going with my routine until I hit another plateau and said, okay, well, I've got to change something, so let's add another product, and it just kept working.
Well, that's pretty cool. Now, the physical events, as far as with the ankle surgery and everything, is some pretty amazing information. But have you had any other health uh, issues or things that have changed with the weight loss and everything?
Yes, one of the biggest things was I had actually started using a CPAP machine at night. Uh, it I had pretty severe sleep apnea, and that is completely gone now. So that was I think last June was the last time I used the machine. So that to me was a big change, and my blood pressure is much more under control now from before I started doing everything, and so it's been not just the weight loss, but just overall, I feel so much better.
Right. Now, your wife told us one night that she was actually smaller now than when you guys got married. Is that true?
Yes, that for her has been really neat. She took a picture. She got back into her wedding dress and actually was even a little bit smaller when she tried it back on than when we actually got married. So for her, that was really an exciting moment, and it was really neat for me to get to see her in her wedding dress again.
That is very, very cool. Not all of us can say that these days. I think that's neat. I know I've got another friend that we'll be talking to later on the summit that showed a picture of her in her high school cheerleading outfit. I don't even want to talk about that. You know, that wouldn't happen in my lifetime ever. Now, as far as your business goes, I know you're an ambassador, and you've been an ambassador with us for the whole time because you had wanted to get your products at the best price, like we all do. And your business is just getting off the ground, but I truly expect that once your story gets out with how much weight you've lost in a year, that you're going to do great things. Are you excited about the business opportunity?
I am. Like you said, the main reason I started was really the health. And for me, the whole business thing was really just kind of like you said, to not only get the products at a lower price, but I thought, if I get a little bit extra to help pay for the products, that'd be great. But I'm just I can't sing the praises of Plexus enough. The thing I say most often now is, at first I used the excuse, it was too expensive. Now I'm to the point that you couldn't pay me to stop taking it.
Absolutely. That's the way so many of us feel. Well, I want to thank you, Brad, for being with us today and telling us your story. I mean, 105 pounds. How amazing is that? And with very little exercise or changing of your routine. I know that you have been tracking a little more this year with what's going on, a little contest you'll have going on at work, and you found out that you actually weren't eating enough. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop. It was so weird that I realized I wasn't actually eating enough. So I've been tracking and journaling what I eat, and that's really made a difference of late. And now that I'm getting over my surgery, I've started using an exercise bike. That's about the extent. I can't do any running or walking or anything really long distance. But between those, it's amazing that once you start taking the Plexus products and get your body back in line and get everything balanced the way it's supposed to be, how everything else just seems to make it that much easier to get where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. It is like any other tool. It helps you get to where you can feel better and be able to do those things again that maybe you did more when you were younger or what have you, that you've lost. But thank you again for being with us today. I'm going to say a few things other than wow. That is just an amazing amount of weight. I need to get out of the way also our little disclaimer, of course, that we here at the Plexus Virtual Summit 2. It is being brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. The Plexus Virtual Summit 2 and its independent Plexus ambassadors and Plexus Worldwide do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any disease or take no responsibility for personal actions taken after the summit. Always consult with your doctor Before beginning any diet or exercise program, most participants in the summit are not medical professionals, and those who are do not know your medical history. Please consult your physician if there are any concerns prior to and during your Plexus journey. All inspirational testimonies, posts, and tips should not be considered medical advice and are not representative of Plexus worldwide. They are tips, inspiration, and motivation provided to you based solely on personal results or opinions of the individual speakers or posters. So thank you again, Brad, for coming, and we will see you next week at the meeting.
Okay, thank you.